We're going to start by looking at the EBSCO vendor, and on the vendor details page you can click PO lines, and we're going to take a look at one of the journals here, and we're going to look at Journal of Chemical Education, which is number 6, and you'll see that they have expected delivery, and the date is May 13th, 2017. So I'm going to show you where that's coming from. And we're going to go to the PO line summary page, and this is one that I created an order for, and I went through that process in the first video I did on Serials Check-In. And so if you scroll down the page, right under where it says vendor information, I'll move that over a little bit, you'll see that for the expected receipt after ordering days, I put 10 here. So I ordered this on the 3rd of May, and after I entered this number here and went down to the bottom and clicked on Go, it automatically filled in the expected receipt date as May 13th, 2017. So on the PO line summary it says expected receipt date. On the vendor PO line page it'll say expected delivery. But those are the same, that's going to be the same date. It's just that on this page it says expected delivery. And so that's what the first bullet is talking about. The expected receipt date equals your send date plus the expected receipt after ordering days value. And that's going to get filled in on the repository page under the label expected delivery. The next thing on the bulleted list here, it says if you use prediction patterns, the expected arrival date equals the issue date plus the subscription interval. So we'll talk about that. Because we have an order already created for Journal of Chemical Education, what we can do at this point is create a prediction pattern, and I'm going to click on where it says Physical Version at Hightower Backfiles, and from here you can click Edit to get to the MD Editor page, and you would go to Edit and click on the Expand from Template menu, and you'll see you've got a bunch of different options for prediction patterns that are already set up in Alma. Alright, I'm going to open up the bib record and just see if there's a 310 field. There's no 310 field that tells me the publication frequency for this, but this I think is it's monthly, I believe. And so yeah, I think there's 12 issues a year for this. What we're going to do is we're going to just go back, and I'm going to save that, and click New. And we're going to go back to Edit, Expand from Template, and we are going to find one that says monthly. And select that. It's going to create an 853 field for our captions and enumeration, and it also creates a 590 field that we can edit. So we could actually come in here as I showed you in the first video, and you can go ahead and edit that. At this point you actually have to click in this field and highlight it, and it'll turn yellow, and you can go to Tools and Mark 21 Holdings and click on Next Predicted Items Information. But before I do that, I'm going to take a look at this 853 field. You can edit that 853 field according to a serials prediction pattern guide that we have posted on the LibGuide, and this is the web address to get to that document. And you'll see that for monthly serials, at the end of that 853 field, you can add a $$X and 01, and that would indicate that the new volume is issued in January. So when you are creating your prediction pattern, you can add this information, so it'll create the pattern for the following year, and that will be set up for you. So that is something that we would want to go in and edit depending on when in the year they start renumbering the issues. And so this guide also has some information about how to do this for quarterly serials. And so you see for spring it's $$X21, or winter is the code is 24, and that actually comes from the holdings format page that you can find at this website here, and you see that the codes for the different seasons are 21, 22, 23, and 24, and so that's where that is coming from. I'm just going to, without looking at it, just make an assumption that this would be starting in January, and you would probably want to take a look at the serial for that. But having your cursor in this field and having the field highlighted and the cursor blinking, then you can click on Tools, Mark 21, and you'll see the option to click on Next Predicted Item Information. And this will come up. And I actually cheated there for a second because I just went and removed the $$X01 because the thing wasn't popping up. So anyway, that's something that we'll have to look into a little bit more. But at this point you can enter your different levels of enumeration, and you'll see that this is coming from the LSC.gov website here, and they list what the different codes are for the different levels of enumeration. So A is for volumes, and B is for number, and I is for year. And so we can use that information to fill in the next predicted items information. So this is going to be the next issue that you're going to be receiving, and then your prediction pattern is going to start from there. So we entered this in here, we're going to click Close, and then we can go to Tools and go to Mark 21 Holdings, the same place we did before, and we're going to open Predicted Items, and this should populate a page here that shows you the expected arrival date for all of the future issues, and it'll fill in all the holdings information for you, so that's all pre-populated. And so what we'll want to do is click on Save. Then you're going to click on the Alma main menu and click on Receive, and you're going to go down your list of serials that you're receiving. So basically you got two tabs here. One time is going to be for things like books, and continuous is going to be for your serials. And these are a list of serials we receive. For the predictive pattern, you're going to want to select Manage Items. That's going to open up this page, and if everything were working correctly for us at this point, then what you would see down here would be that list of expected arrival dates and the holdings information. Alright, so here's an example of Newsweek. This is kind of how the predictive patterns should look after you edit this in the holdings record. Down here below receive new items and analytics issues report, you're going to see a list of all of the journals that you're expecting to receive. And then when they come in, you just place a check mark here, and under actions you're going to go ahead and receive them. Alright, so going back to this, if you use prediction patterns, the expected arrival date is going to be the issue date that was on the new predictive pattern that you filled out, plus the subscription interval. And here's the issue date that was on that next predicted items information pop-up. The issue date is editable, but it just defaults to today's date. So that's where that's coming from. And remember, the subscription interval is what we filled in right here on the PL-Line summary page. And one other thing about the PL-Line summary page that I noticed is for the prediction patterns to work, it looks like you have to have a subscription from date as well as a subscription to date. And so that's very important to fill that in. And that's pretty much it as far as I've been able to test the predictive patterns in Alma so far. It does look like maybe they don't entirely work, because when you go to receive, you do not see the expected issue arrival dates showing up down here. Alright, so that's it for predictive patterns for right now.